Good afternoon, guys and gals. This is North Shore Preparedness coming to you from the absolutely beautiful shores of Lake Ontario. Today is Sunday, May the 16th, 2021. And we had an absolutely gorgeous day here today. Absolutely gorgeous. We had a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, or I think that'd be, we're looking at about 70. It was a warm old sun trap here in the garden today. Warm old sun trap. Anyone want any of these wisteria beans? These seeds? They're about ready to be harvested. This is a whole bunch of them. So I gotta go ahead and harvest some of those, and we'll put them away. Maybe somebody wants some, maybe not. It's a fairly fast-growing vine. Beautiful flower on them. They don't last long, kind of like they'll last as long as a lilac, like maybe a week or so, but absolutely beautiful when they do come in. All right, so yeah, I came out, something I wanted to share with you guys and gals. Such a beautiful day. I came out outside, and I thought best get my butt into the garden and do some stuff, okay? So my intention was to get my potatoes in today. Plant my potatoes in containers. Well, that didn't happen. So today I'm a massive failure at planting potatoes. But what I did see when I came out into the garden is I saw all that trellising that was all up. Not this stuff, but the bigger stuff. All the trellising was still up, and all the tomato plants were still up to trellising, you know. And I thought, all right, that's all got to come out. So I ripped down the trellising. Here's the tall poles, the verticals that I use. I just stacked them over here, and then over this way over here. That's where I stacked all my all the horizontals, and I just tied them together with like garden wire. So I got that ripped down, and then I thought, okay. Now I still got tomato plants, so I started ripping those out. That's easy enough, you know. Here's one left from last year. Show you how easy they come out. Not too difficult at all, right? Look at how big this one is. This is one tomato plant. It's absolutely massive. Spans 10 feet easily. It's huge, absolutely huge. So I started ripping those out, and I thought, well, I went out and I got some of these garden waste bags here. I thought I'll just break those up, and I'll put those into the garden waste bags. And set it out by the road for the people of the township or the county or city or whoever to come by and collect those. Take the debris away. And then I started thinking, I was like, well, wait a second. I'm going to be going and buying like a peat moss or sphagnum moss or something like that to add organic material into my garden. So I thought, to heck with that, Like in the city here, you get a little green compost bin, so you got to go out and you got to buy these clear plastic biodegradable bags. And then you put like your onion and carrot trimmings and this and that in there, and then you put it out by the road with your garbage or recycle. They come and take that away for you, okay? Well, then they turn around and compost it and sell it back to you. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, well, you know what? Like, I already spent money on putting nutrients into the soil last year for doing this. Whether it's, if you're buying it or if you're making your own, if you got rabbits or sheep manure compost or cattle manure compost, do whatever you can, but look at how dry and brittle this is. So what I did, look at how small these pieces are here. What I did, look at how easy they break. I just started grabbing them, busting them up after I pulled out the weeds. I pulled out most of the weeds. There's my weed pile. Pulled out most of the weeds, the bigger ones. And then I thought, well, I might as well just, I wanted to churn up the soil because it was pretty hard. Like this stuff over here, I hadn't gotten to this part just yet, but you can see how hard that is, right? So I thought, well, I might as well churn up the soil, aerate it, loosen it, and I started breaking up my tomato plants. Like, here's an example, right here. Let me just, if the thing will cooperate, just started taking my old tomato plants, throwing them down, just started stomping on them like this. Stomping on them, flatten them out, break them up a little bit, just like you can see across here. Okay. Now I haven't gotten to working up this particular portion of the soil. I stopped right there. Because when I was doing it, I used my my garden claw here. I used that to just you know, like churn up the soil after I had most of the weeds out, and I had stomped down some of this organic material here from left from last year. And let me just, okay, so you see how hard this is. Showed you this. Look what it leaves us over here. All right, instead of throwing all that nutrients away, like look at how easy that soil works up, how nice and dark it is, all that organic material in it, you know. And I thought that might be much, much better than going out and buying peat moss and you know, other nutrients to add to the soil. Because I mean, you know, this soil here last year grew this plant, right? So there's plenty of fiber and nutrients and organic material left in this. Just throw it right back in. Instead of paying to have compost taken away, and then paying to have compost or organic material brought in. I mean, like, look at this here. That right there is a tomato that came in on one of the tomato plants last year, late in the season. But then it got too cold for it to, you know, fully come to maturity and ripen. So I just left them on the vine. Like, I'm gonna turn all these tomatoes and all these tomato plants just right back into my soil to save me from augmenting it further. You know what I mean? That saves me $30 in sphagnum moss or peat moss, just doing that. Not to mention adding the nutrients back into the soil that the soil has already produced, right? So this should compost well in here. And as far as these weeds go, I'm gonna let them sit there a few days and die properly. And once they're dead and they start to dry up a little bit, I'll add those right back into the bed on top, and that should help suppress any other weeds. Like for me, would I consider this? Alright, hang on a second before I do that. Would I consider this? This is a dirty garden bed, right? What I just showed you, this over here, this is a clean garden bed. Now, because I stacked all my horizontal things over here, you know, I hadn't got to weeding out that particular part just yet, but, you know, I'll take care of that in another bed in the morning. But yeah, that's a dirty bed right there. I consider this a clean bed, okay? No, I didn't take out all of the weeds. What I did was I kind of did this, okay? See the weeds that are in here? I just get most of them. As you can see, I don't concern myself with the little bitty ones at all. I just churn those right back into the soil, and if any of them come up again, they're going to be much, much easier to pull out. You know, because for the most part, you do this, you're getting most of it, right? And yeah, I'll just toss it over there on the concrete and let it die and dry out. I'll add it back on top of this, and it'll help suppress some weeds. It'll also help the soil retain moisture. But I mean, look at how rich and you know, full of organic material this soil is, and how easy it is to work, right? Just by running through the soil with the garden claw, and breaking up those tomato plants and adding them back in here. So that's what I'm going to be doing to these other beds over here. I still need to turn this part up here. You know, the young lady upstairs, she got herself a tomato plant, and this is actually the best spot in the garden, so I think I'll offer that spot and maybe this whole bed over here to her. You can see all the tomatoes that were left from on the vine from last year. You can see them all. Just turn them right back into the soil. Put all those nutrients right back into the ground. Why take them out, pay to have them taken away, and then pay to have to add extra nutrients. Now what I will do though is when I do put plants in here, I'll augment it with probably some bone and blood meal and maybe some seed compost just for some bolstered nutrients. But this mound of dirt right here is what I was going to use for my for planting my potatoes today, which didn't actually happen. Oh, hey, I got something for you guys. There's something over here. Here's a wooden crate that a buddy of mine brought me. It's a wooden crate right there. I'm going to turn that into a raised bed to put my yellow beans in. Hopefully, young Pilfer won't get them, because I came out here this morning. Guess who I had a nice conversation with? Young Pilfer was in the yard again, so we'll just see how that goes. Okay, so this is Experimental Urban Garden Year 2 in the beginning, okay? I had a very successful garden last year, and its entire purpose was to show people that, yes, you can grow food in an urban environment. Let me know what you guys think about what my approach is like here. If I'm onto something, or if I'm, you know, messing on all cylinders or something. But anyways, it was a nice enough day. I thought I better get my butt outside, do something. But yeah, yesterday or in my last video, this was all trellising and old dead tomatoes. So again, let me know what you guys think. Hope everyone's doing well, having a great weekend, being productive, or relaxing, both hopefully. Hope everyone's well and safe. With that, this is going to be North Shore Preparedness, out for now.